Apple just had their event. Let's recap it because there are some exciting and not so exciting new updates for the iPhone, the Apple Watch, iOS, and even the Apple Vision Pro. So first, I want to talk about iOS. iOS 17 will be releasing September 22nd, which should be next Monday, and the Apple Vision Pro is set to release in early next year, so Q1 2024. This is the first time they mentioned exactly when it's going to ship, and so that's really exciting to hear. They started off the keynote with a long video about how Apple products are saving people's lives, be it with fall detection, irregular heart rate detection, high and low heart rate, and the new satellite feature on the iPhone 14s, as well as crash detection. So that was kind of cool to see. Of course, that's Apple's amazing marketing team. But let's get into first the new Apple Watches, Series 9 and Ultra 2. All right, so the all-new Apple Watch Series 9, which is really just all the same. The design is exactly like the Series 8, which is just like the Series 7, which is just like the Series 6. But in any case, all-new Series 9 has a new Apple S9 chip, which gives 60% more transistors, 30% greater GPU performance, and an 18-hour battery life, which is very much the same as last year. Some cool features though come from this. So with the new neural engine in the S9 chip, and thanks to the S9 chip, there's a new feature called double tap. And so with double tap of your thumb and your index finger on whichever hand is wearing the watch, you can control the main function of whatever screen you're on the screen of the Apple Watch. So if you are trying to answer a call and like you have something in your hand and you can't quite reach over to do that, you just double tap your fingers and it will answer the call. Double tap again, end the call. And this works in whatever app you're in. So if you're in the music app, it'll play or pause. And so pretty much if you just do this double tap, it will act as the main button push on whatever screen you're at. In addition, it is the first carbon neutral Apple device that they're selling. So with certain bands, you will get a carbon neutral logo on the box, and this is because it's 100% recycled aluminum, 100% recycled plastics in the bands, etc. And this carries over to the Apple Watch Hermes and the Apple Watch Nike Edition. So the Nike Edition has recycled bands, and the Hermes no longer comes with leather. That's another thing. No more leather products, be it leather watch bands or cases for your phone. And this even goes to those little AirTag cases. Kind of disappointed about that because I only buy the Apple leather case. Like that's the only reason I would buy an Apple case is for the leather case. So that's kind of disappointing. I guess I won't be buying a case from Apple this year, but I digress. The last couple features of the Apple Watch Series 9 is that the display is much brighter now. It goes up to 2000 nits max brightness, all the way down to 1 nit of minimum brightness, I guess, for like movie theaters or at night when you have that always-on display on. And pricing is the same, $399 to start, and goes up from there. And Apple Watch Series SE, or just Apple Watch SE, still $250, cellular $300, and it's available to order today. So now let's get to the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So the Apple Watch Ultra 2 was probably my biggest disappointment of this year. We were expecting to get like a matte black color, and we didn't get that. The only difference is that the case is now 95% recycled titanium, whereas last year it was 100% virgin titanium. Screen brightness is up to 2000 nits, and not a lot more changes. It of course gets the new S9 chip, and you also get that little double tap feature. And also when you go diving, it'll keep a log of your dives and just little things like that. You get a lot of the updates that are coming with watchOS on September 22nd, on Monday, which are like cycling updates and running updates. So with cycling, you can attach not attach, but wirelessly connect to Bluetooth devices that you might use for cycling, be it a bike computer or read the torque of your bike, etc. Just a lot more features coming to the more niche side of things for the Workouts app, but Hardware-wise, the biggest change is recycled case, brighter screen, new chip. Otherwise, really the same. Same battery life, same look, a new watch face, but yeah, that's it from the Apple Watch Ultra 2, still $799. Oh, and by the way, I ordered one, so you'll catch a review of that very soon. Hopefully, I'll get an unboxing and first impressions on Friday when it comes out. All right, let's talk about the iPhone. So the iPhone 15, they started off with the regular model and the Plus. So iPhone 15 is not really that much changed. Again, you get like a pink color, some new colors, but otherwise a very similar design to the current iPhone 15. The biggest change that you'll notice is it has dynamic island now and matte finishes on the rear. As far as specs, the screen will now go up to 2000 nits of peak brightness. Still no promotion on the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, and same battery life. But interestingly, the A16 chip is in this phone, which was the chip from the Pro model last year, the iPhone 14 Pro. So you're again getting a new iPhone with an old chip. We'll get to the iPhone 15 Pro with the new chip in a little bit, but it seems that the strategy going forward is just the Pro model gets the new chip and the non-Pro model gets all the new stuff from last year's Pro model. So anyway, of course, one of the biggest pieces of news for the new iPhone is USB-C is now on the iPhone. There's a catch though. When we get to the iPhone 15 Pro models, there's something that the USB-C port on those can do that the regular iPhone 15 can't. But anyway, the iPhone 15, across the board, Pro and regular USB-C, that will be what's shipping with the box, and they loved to market it as, oh look, now your Mac, iPad, and iPhone 15 can all charge with the same cable, and they're updating the AirPods Pro to also have a USB-C cable. So there you go. And they also took some more time to talk about MagSafe and how MagSafe is a better way to charge, and you can tell how they really are trying to push that instead of the USB-C. Of course, that way that they can keep their almost monopoly on charging and get that made for Apple sticker royalty that third parties will have to use. Now, this iPhone 15 will come again in the normal size and the Plus model starting at $799 and $899. The other big updates, camera, always update the camera. This one will have a 48 megapixel camera and some cool new software features actually. So when it comes to portrait mode, you'll be able to just take a regular photo, but it will automatically detect if there's a person in it and capture that depth data. And then after the fact, you can actually turn that into a portrait photo, which is really cool. There's definitely times when I've wanted to look at a photo that was not in portrait and make it portrait. So this is a nice feature to have. It was rumored like a year or two ago to happen on those iPhones, and it never happened. So finally it's happening. I'm happy to see it. All right, the most exciting for me was the iPhone 15 Pro. The iPhone 15 Pro is coming in titanium now. So it is, you know, as they say, the lightest iPhone Pro model and also the strongest. So they use grade 5 titanium. They love to say how that was the same titanium grade that they used on the Mars rover. And so they wanted to get that space marketing cred. And yeah, so it is also getting rid of the little volume ringer switch. And so it's going to be an action button, much like the Ultra watch. The Apple Watch Ultra has an orange action button, which you can program to do various things. The cool thing is with the iPhone is they'll have some predetermined things that you can use it for. The default will be still the ringer, but you can program it to open the camera, do certain accessibility settings. But the coolest one is that you actually be able to program it to shortcuts. And so you can have it programmed to open a certain app or do a certain function, and really limited to only what you can do with the Shortcuts app. So that's something people were really hoping that they would do if they added this button, and they did. So that's awesome to see. Now, let's get to the chip. This is the A17 Pro chip. They touted this as the most powerful chip in a smartphone and a chip that can compete with desktops. And the way they proved this was with the huge gains in GPU power. The GPU can handle console level games. Now they've been saying this in the past, but this is actually happening now. So you have Resident Evil 4 coming to the iPhone, and you have various other console level games coming to the iPhone, which is really interesting to see. And I'm curious to see what other games will follow suit, how they'll port their games to the iPhone. The new Assassin's Creed is coming out natively on the iPhone, which is really interesting because that's a console game, and to see it running almost at comparable quality on an iPhone is really astonishing. I love to see advancements on the Android side with the the Gen 2 Qualcomm chips, but man, I mean, iPhone is just, they're doing really well in the GPU department. Now let's get to the other specs. So this is the first ever 3 nanometer chip. It's got a 6-core CPU, 6-core GPU, and pretty amazing. They say the power will not affect the battery life, so battery life will stay the same. I would have loved to see increased battery life, but it is what it is. Of course, if you want the best battery life, you have to go for the Plus or Pro Max models. Also, they didn't change the name. It's still Pro Max. It's not iPhone 15 Ultra or anything like that for the larger model. I also want to mention the colors. So being titanium, you have, of course, black and silver, but you also get a blue titanium and a raw titanium or natural titanium color, which is really cool. I'm debating which one I want to order, so I might just get both and see what I like better, but blue is my favorite color. iPhone 12 Pro came in that matte blue, and that is by far the best color they've ever put on an iPhone, so let's see if this is comparable. Now, one of the most important parts of any iPhone Pro model is the cameras, and that's why I buy the Pro models, and that's why a lot of people buy it. So you still get a 48 megapixel main camera. However, this 48 megapixel camera is updated from last year, and last year's model is now in the iPhone 15 model. And the interesting updates are actually with the zoom camera, the telephoto camera. And on the regular iPhone 15 Pro, it will simply be an updated, better version of the 3x zoom. However, the Pro Max model will have a 5x optical zoom with kind of like a periscope camera function that will integrate a 3-way OIS system, which is the first in a phone. And really interesting to see, they said they had to do that to make this work. So I wonder if there might be any issues down the line with low light performance of that telephoto, but they said that it shouldn't affect the telephoto's low light performance. Now, on that wide angle normal camera, the regular standard camera, that one will have better low light performance, and in addition to using the ultra wide, which is relatively unchanged from last year, you'll be able to take spatial videos. So for Apple Vision Pro coming out next year, you'll actually be able to take spatial videos, which is kind of like one of those things where they announce it here and then they'll give it to you in a later software update. They said later in the fall or winter is when the spatial video is coming, but you'll be able to take spatial videos for watching only on Vision Pro and share it with other people who have Vision Pro. Now, the price. This is something that was really interesting. The price is unchanged for the normal sized Pro model. It's still $999, but the Pro Max went up $100, so it is now $1199 or $1,200. But that's in line with last year's Pro Max price for the 256 gig, and so this one will also ship with 256. So effectively, it's the same price as last year. They just don't give you the option for the 128 gig, which is a sneaky way of them to get a little extra money on each one that they sell. But other than that, those are all the updates from the Apple event today, September 12th, 2023. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one, where I will be reviewing the Apple Watch Ultra 2, the iPhone 15 Pro, and Pro Max. So watch out for those videos.